everyone, this is Tara with Ariana Stark. This is your weekly love reading for the week starting from 3rd to 9th August 2020. I will cover all 12 sun signs in this reading, and I'll also use Oracle deck apart from the Tarot deck for a message that the universe has with respect to your love life. There's also the timestamp given in the description box, so you can proceed directly to the timestamp in case you want to skip straight to your reading. Cross watchers are also welcome. Let's start with Aries. For Aries, we have the card Page of Wands, and I also have the card Grapes Satisfaction. It says here, certainly Aries, you're going to be wooed, no doubt, by the opposite sex in this week. You're going to be having a lot of attention coming your way. Maybe on the social media also you could be garnering attention from the opposite sex. Those on an unacknowledged relationship or those who are crushing on someone, you could send a message across, but then it could leave you quite restive because you don't get any answer. But still there's a sense of calm in this feeling, or this feeling that you have made a move and you have tried your best for this relationship, or you have expressed yourself, whatever the case may be. Those who are already dating or those who are romancing, I think you'll be quite satisfied with respect to your love life. We have the card Grapes, so it's going to leave a good taste in your mouth. It's not a case of sour grapes, rather there's some kind of contentment in this relationship in this week. Many of you may also be concerned about the background or your social background of your lover, or maybe you'll show an interest in his faith. Largely you're going to be interested in understanding him. Married Aries, I think you need to be more tolerant, you need to be more patient. Maybe you're coming across as being quite despicable. Maybe you're going to pick on your partner, which is completely avoidable. On the other hand, as a woman, I think Aries woman, you shouldn't put up with domestic violence or abuse. For some of you, I think your relationship with your in-laws may also go from bad to worse. Whatever it is, I believe that there will be heightened communication in this week, and you could also be quite restless and restive, like I said. From Aries, I will move to the second sign, which is Taurus. Taurus, we have the card Death, and we also have the card Yellow, which says confidence, sunshine. It's like yellow makes me it brings to mind the feeling of the sun or the sunshine, that is confidence, success, happiness, optimism. That's what the card says here. For Taurus, the Death card, I think it's going to be marked by transformation this week with respect to your love life. Those who are single, I think basically you will also be preoccupied with thoughts of the person whom you are crushing on. Some of you may also have to deal with unwanted attention. Maybe there could be lewd attention from lecherous men that could be off-putting. There are those of you who will realize that someone is madly in love with you, but you're going to put limitations on yourself. And on the other hand, those who are in an on-again, off-again relationship, you can be quite optimistic. I think the yellow card here is for those who are in an on-again, off-again relationship, because you could hear from your partner or someone with whom you share an on-again, off-again relationship, that is, and this could be quite overwhelming. On the other hand, romancing Taurus, I think you'll be quite puzzled or baffled because your lover isn't demonstrative. Maybe sometimes you think that there's a lot to look forward to because there's a flurry of messages, but then there are times when he goes quiet or he retreats into a shell. Married Taurus, I think there will be times when you feel that you're made the fall guy or you're made the scapegoat for no rhyme or reason, and this could distress you to no end. Maybe you're in those kinds of situations, or maybe you feel unacknowledged. From Taurus, I will move to Gemini. For Gemini, we have the card Two of Swords. I think you'll be in a state of limbo, or maybe you'll be hanging in mid-air. You don't know what to decide or how to decide, that is. We have the card Key, Unlock, which quite clearly you need to unlock or you need to understand whatever it is that is hindering the whole connection or the connection that you have. Maybe you need to also understand your inner feelings. Some of you may want to make an effort to reach out to the one you fancy, but then you may also not want to come across as someone who is too persuasive. There are times also when you feel that you make no headway. On the other hand, those who are single, I think Geminis, you will also be wooed, but then you're going to disappoint the person, or maybe you're going to leave the person heartbroken. That's a huge possibility in this week. On the other hand, those who are already dating, I think dating Geminis, you will have good conversation. Maybe you will help each other at work. Maybe you will crack puzzles, and that could help sustain the relationship. There's going to be witty exchange. Largely, you believe both of you have the same views and thoughts. Maybe he's also going to come across as someone who's quite emotional as the evening sets in. So be more understanding and be more receptive with respect to the relationship, or give him the need to give him the time or space to express himself. That's what I'm picking up. Married Geminis, I think there could be quarrels over silly issues. You may accuse your spouse of being inattentive also. Some of you may also be in an abusive relationship, and this could affect you emotionally. Largely, you need to pick up the pieces, and you should focus on self-respect. From Gemini, I will move to Cancer. For Cancer, we have the card Emperor, and I also have the card 222. I think you need to have a more balanced approach in this week. Maybe you're coming across as someone who is too bossy or overbearing, and that's completely unwanted or unnecessary in this relationship. There will also be new people coming into your life, but it's no point stringing someone along. Sometimes you may also be coming across to your suitor someone who's too high-handed. Maybe because you're ignoring the person, the person thinks that you think yourself to be too smart, or you think too highly of yourself. Those who are already romancing, I think for some of you, there may be an age difference between your partner and you. You may be discussing each other's looks as well. Maybe your partner thinks that he isn't good looking or you aren't good looking, but then you believe looks don't have a place. What is important is the soul of a person, and you have connected at the soul level, so that is more important than looks. Looks will definitely fade away. Again, those who are married, I think you could break down as your husband never acknowledges you, and he may blame you for not being around, or your spouse could blame you for not being around. Even you should not irk your spouse, because maybe you're going to change plans, or maybe you're going to be indecisive. Again, another thing I would also like to add here is that Cancerians, I think you should be careful, because maybe you could come across as someone who's being too nosy also. The 222 card here talks about partnerships, balance. Maybe you need to pay attention to new people who are entering your life. And also you have to find time to balance your time and energy in existing relationships. Perhaps existing relationships need to be nurtured, because the 2 is a number of nurturing. It's the feminine side of your personality, and besides, the Emperor is someone who is quite overbearing. So maybe you need to balance that approach or towards the opposite sex, or when you're in a relationship, you should bring that side of yours to the forefront, as that could help your relationship, that could build the relationship that you have. From Cancer, I will move to Leo. For Leo, we have the card Devil, and I also have the card Rocket Voyage, it says here. Certainly, Leos can expect a lot of attention. Even unwanted attention is coming your way. So you should be on your guard, especially on social media. Maybe people appear to be too nice, but they are actually wolf in sheep's clothing. So you need to watch out for those kind of unwanted attention that is coming in this week. That is, I think those who are romancing, you'll be contemplating about your future. Maybe sometimes you may be thinking that it's imperative to settle down, but then other times you may be getting cold feet, or the whole idea of settling down could be unnerving for you. Basically, it's like you want to have the cake and you want to eat it too. So you have to make that decision, or you have to make that choice. Whatever it is, romancing Leos, I think your lover will go gaga over your grace, your beauty, your looks, or your intelligence. He sees you as someone who is in control of your life. For some of you also, I think you're in a relationship where there's a physical distance, or maybe the person is traveling. I also feel that in case voyage or rocket could also imply communication over social media. That's something which is coming to my mind right now, so I'm just verbalizing whatever is coming in my head. Those who are married, I think marital infidelity could be a factor which could create an issue in your relationship. Again, there could also be obstacles, or maybe there could be people who are going to come into play who could be opposed to your relationship or opposed to your lover. That's also a possibility. For some Leos, I think the fluctuating moods of your beloved could also be a factor. Maybe he's too temperamental. So you need to be a bit more patient with him, because this week will also pass and things can be happier if you ignore all these circumstances. As a man also, I think you shouldn't pick on your wife, because that could affect the relationship. On the other hand, I think those who are in an extramarital relationship or those who are in a third-party situation, you may be quite upset because your partner talks quite vaguely. Sometimes there may also be lover's stiff because there's no time to talk, but when you do talk, then you think that it was pointless to get into those quarrels or those stiffs which were there. From Leo, I will move to Virgo. For Virgo, let's remove these cards first and foremost. For Virgo, we have the card 8 of Pentacles, and I also have the card 10, Creation. Maybe some of you are being compelled to make that effort, or maybe you should pen your thoughts or do something creative. I think some of you may also be collaborating with your partner, or maybe having discussions with respect to work. It's a card which talks about polishing your skills, so you need to focus on your creative aspects as well in case you're working together, because that will help cement the bond that you have or that you share with your lover. Single Virgos, I think you can expect marriage proposals, but then these are early days, it may not work out. For some of you, the age difference could also be a factor in the relationship or in that proposal. Some of you may also think that there's no compatibility with respect to this person and you, so astrologically the two of you are totally different. Maybe you're trying to match horoscopes or whatever, but there's no compatibility, so you want to do away with the relationship or do away with this proposal that is coming your way. Those who are in a romantic connection, I think you will be yearning for your beloved. Maybe he is too bogged down with work and he doesn't have time for you, or he doesn't have time for those frequent conversations. But when he does call, then he will fill you in with whatever's happening in his life. Again, those who are in an hush-hush relationship, I think you should be very careful, because it's quite likely that someone could blow the cover and maybe somebody else would let it out of the bag, let the cat out of the bag and declare that you're in a relationship or that you're dating someone, and this could leave you quite alarmed. There's also the factor of commitment. Maybe some Virgos may think that your partner doesn't want to commit, and so you wonder where is it that the relationship is heading. Many Virgos may also hear from a former lover, and this could rekindle old memories. You know that these memories will linger forever. Married Virgos, maybe you will discuss, in case you're in an unhappy marriage, maybe you will discuss it with somebody else. I think you realize that your partner has everybody under his thumb, or is too dogmatic or overbearing, and that affects the relationship. Largely, it should be an equal relationship, but then you think that you are the one who is suppressed or who has to give in to whatever your spouse wants. Perhaps you could de-stress by doing something creative, or maybe you should watch a romantic movie that could help your moods. From Virgo, I will move to Libra. For Libra, I have the card Knight of Swords, and I also have this card here, Hidden Pearl. Sorry, it's not, I don't know why did I say pearl. Anyway, we have the card Knight of Swords and we have the card Hidden Veil for Libra. So I think single Librans, I think your attention span is quite limited. There could be more than one suitor. It's like someone is showing an interest and then somebody else could walk in. So you may be wondering whom to go out with, or whom to date, or whom to form a connection with. So this thing could affect you, maybe because there's too much going around you, so you cannot decide on what is it that your heart wants. Whatever it is, those who are romancing, I think also you will be dealing with an insecure lover. Maybe your lover thinks that there are things which are hidden between both of you, that you could return to your ex-flame also. That is also going to play on his mind. Largely, he wants to be reassured that he and you are one who are going to be together forever. Single Librans, like I said, there could be marriage proposals as well. On the other hand, those who are romancing, I think health of your lover or your loved one could also be a matter of concern and could affect the relationship. Married Librans could have to deal with infidelity, which could become a bone of contention in this week. Your spouse may be getting into quarrels with you, and to add fuel to the fire, there could be somebody who could provoke him or her even further. Maybe he wants the mask to be out, or maybe he wants to be reassured that you aren't unfaithful. Let's move to the 8th sign, which is Scorpio. For Scorpio, we have the card 5 of Wands, and we also have the card Greene. I think you can expect increased communication in this week, and I also feel that you have to adapt to the changes with respect to your love life. Maybe your lover is showing more of an interest in you. He's concerned about you. I also feel that somebody around you, in case you're in an on-again, off-again relationship, I think maybe you could be forced to communicate with that person because he is dealing with someone who is unwell. So maybe you are the one who is going to give him solace, or maybe you could recommend something. Maybe like you could come across as a person who's a healer. Because the Greene card, I also feel it's connected to Archangel Raphael. For me, Archangel Raphael is the angel that I work with. So Greene here brings to mind that some of you may also be dealing with meddlesome people, because there could be envy and jealousy also that you have to deal with. Other than that, I think you will find that your spirit animals or your spirit guides will want to connect with you, and they could push you towards making a reconnection with that on-again, off-again lover. Those who are already romancing, I think you have to deal with the distance. Maybe your lover is too preoccupied with work, so you are going to miss him, and it could get a bit overwhelming. Whatever it is, you will recall past conversations as well. On the other hand, married Scorpions, I think financial issues could crop up. Maybe your spouse needs to take a loan or whatever. So this prosperity thing angle, I think I believe it is talking about that. Estranged people could also re-enter your life. Maybe both of you are aware of somebody else, and somebody whom you have removed from your life could re-enter, and this could affect the relationship, or this could disturb the family environment, so to speak. Let's move to Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, I have the card World. Certainly a feeling of contentment is going to be there, which will be prevalent in your love life in this week. That is between 3rd to 9th August. We also have Hidden Knowledge Pearl. So I think many things will come out in the open, or maybe the things which are hidden in the relationship that is going to come out, and it could help both of you. It's like a pearl. The pearl takes time to come out in the open. I mean, from a speck of dust, from a speck of dirt, it just forms, or it becomes a beautiful pearl, and it takes time. It always takes time. So likewise, your relationship has taken time, but then it's going to be turn out to be a beautiful one, and it will bring a sense of calm to both of you, in case you're already romancing. Those who are single, I think random people are going to show an interest in you, but then you should be careful. Maybe you should have a no-nonsense attitude, because there's also unwanted attention. Maybe you need to work on your body language to do away with such attention. Those who are already married archers, I think you could be unnerved, because on account of the words which your spouse uses. Maybe he could say something which could upset you. Even you need to be careful before you make those accusations or before you accuse him of something. For many of you, somebody around you may be unwell or a family member could be unwell, so that could also affect the relationship. Maybe Sagittarians, you'll have to be the caregiver this week. And this could affect the relationship as well. Still, I think there's a feeling of contentment which overrides everything else. From Sagittarius, I will move to Capricorn. For Capricorn, we have the Two of Cups. And we also have the card Thorns, Hardship. Certainly there'll be reunions, or you'll be making those reconnections with that special someone, or maybe I think also that it will be quite flirtatious. Maybe you're having good discussions and you're being witty, your witty self. Those who are crushing on someone will want to make the effort. You want to reach out to that person, or you want to make your feelings known, but then you're confident, or someone around you could say you shouldn't do so, or you shouldn't come across as being too clingy or persuasive. So this card, Thorns or Hardship, could be true for those Capricorns in such a situation, or who find themselves in such a situation. Maybe it's time to be more practical about your own situation rather than becoming across as someone who is being too persuasive. Romancing goats, I think your lover will encourage you at work. Maybe you will need his help. So this is what I had said earlier as well. You'll be quite flirty, and this could leave you quite smug. You think marriage is certainly going to be, or there's marriage is definitely on the cards, but then it also depends upon your choices. Basically, there'll also be some limitations. So those are the hardships which you need to overcome before this union becomes one, or maybe before you become one, before you become a couple. Those who are married, I think you should avoid picking on each other. The health of a loved one could also be a factor. Maybe money is being spent on the health of someone, so that is affecting the relationship. From Capricorn, I will move to Aquarius, or the water bearers. For Aquarius, we have the card Queen of Pentacles, and I also have the card Enthusiasm, Excitement, Warmth. Orange is the card title. I think there'll be discussions with respect to work in case you're already romancing. You should also be careful because there could be some kind of betrayal. Maybe someone is sharpening his or her knives behind your back. Knives are being sharpened, so you need to be careful. By the way, Aquarians, I think there'll be a lot of attention. Even married people or married members of the opposite sex could be insecure in your presence. Maybe they understand that there's some kind of physical attraction that is there. On the other hand, those who are already married, I think you need to be more polite with your in-laws. Again, I'm also picking up that the health of someone around you could also be affecting your relationship in this week. Whatever it is, or largely there'll be enthusiasm, excitement, passion, ardor in this relationship, and there'll be shared warmth, which is something you can look forward to in this week. Lastly, we have the card Four of Swords for Pisces, and I also have the card Starfish, Safe Passage, it says here. Like the Four of Cards, as you see in this depiction in this card, I think the person is quite withdrawn, or there's swords at the back, so he is concerned, or there are people who are out to betray him. So that could affect the relationship. Those who are single, I think you will definitely be single fish. You will be finding your admirers may try too hard to get your attention, but then you may be disinterested, so you may be disinclined. Similarly, those who are crushing on someone, maybe you will make the move, but then your love or your feelings may not be reciprocated, and this could make you quite withdrawn, or it could make you quite despondent. That is a factor, and that is going to affect your relationship, or that could affect your mental state as well. On the other hand, romancing Pisces, I think you'll have to comfort yourself as there's going to be brief conversations. Maybe your lover is away, or maybe there's a distance on account of work. So that could create a factor, or that could be a factor in this relationship. Whatever it is, you believe that even if you don't get a response from your crush, or even if you're romancing, you think that it's divine love, or it's a love that will definitely has a connection with the past life, or is connected to the stars, because the starfish is something which is connected to stars. That's the spiritual connection which I'm picking up. I mean, if you look at the starfish, it reminds all of us of the star, because the shape is like that. Whatever it is, it's a week when you will be finding that your lover could help you out and help you at work. Maybe he is going to guide you. Spiritual guidance is also coming your way in this week. So this connection is definitely moving forward in case you're already romancing. Married fish, I think you need to be careful with your words. Maybe your words could cut like a knife, so that could affect the harmony that is there in your relationship. I hope everyone you liked your weekly love reading. This is Tarot with Ariana Stark. Please give us your feedback in the comment section. I would also like to add here that please subscribe to the channel and please hit the notification bell, as that would help spread the word about Tarot with Ariana Stark as well. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.